Welcome to the Provideam manual data entry training video. In this video we are going to show the manual data entry module of Provideam. We're going to show how a machine is administered, how you would enter manual data, and how you report on the data. So first we're going to look at the machine administration, how to configure a machine for manual data entry. So if we navigate to the machine admin section of the Provideam application, we see that there are a number of machines already configured. This is our demo data, so we have a certain number of assembly machines, a pack machine, and a filler machine. If we look at the data source for these machines, we see some of the machines are collecting their data automatically, and the machine data source is the PC called DTL_PM_test. The filler machine has no data source defined. Some of the details of the machine, we have the area, the shift profile configured, the name of the machine. The data source here we see as manual entry, and the resolution of the mode and yield are hour. So to show how this can be done from scratch, we are going to copy the configuration of the filler machine. And we have called the new machine the packer machine. So updating some of the data associated with the machine, we can see that it has taken the properties of the filler machine. Similarly, it has copied the counts and modes. The key thing in setting up counts and modes in the manual situation is that for a mode to be selectable by a user in the manual entry section of the dashboard, you need to have the active flag set. As with automatic machines, you need to create a linking of the parts that can be run on the machine with a standard time for that part. In the display section, you define what elements you need to collect for the machine. So in this case, we are going to collect a lot name and a part for the machine. And in fact, we've set them to modify, which means that they can be configured by the user via the user interface. So next we look at the manual data entry. We navigate down to the dashboard and we see our automatic machines. We then navigate to the manual entry section and we see a similar interface to the automatic dashboard. To create a new shift, we click on the new button, and as we have the assembly area selected in our filter at the top of the screen, when we click new, we are given an option of the two assembly area manual machines. So in the filler, you will notice that I have no opportunity to select lot or part, but in the packer I do, because I have set those to be modified. So the first thing we do is select the date we want to enter the production details on. When we have selected our date, we have a choice of shifts. These are from our shift profile, which we would have already configured. In the machine admin, if you review that section of the demo, you will see that the 3-shift cycle was selected. So now I enter the appropriate lot and part for my production run. I can modify the start time and duration of a particular shift. And in fact, if I need to enter a number of lots during a shift, I would enter a new shift record for each one. So I may have to adjust the duration of the shift accordingly. I've now created one packer machine production record. If I want to create a second for the same date and shift, you will notice that it takes the start time as the end of the previous production record. Because I had reduced the duration of the previous record, we see that this record starts thereafter. Entering a new lot and part and creating that. New production run. I now have 2 records for the machine, both on Thursday day. If I need to modify, I can click on the modify and edit the production run. So now if I need to enter downtime or yield for the production run, I have an interface at the bottom of the screen here. The first section is for downtime, where you show records for each hour during the day. To add a new downtime record, I click on the Add New Record. I select the start time. I select the type of downtime that I want to enter. This is from my list of active modes. You will remember that I made a point of saying that the modes need to be active to be selectable at this location. And then I can enter a comment. So I can continue entering downtime details in this fashion. As I enter the downtime information, you will notice that the hour total updates. In this case, the downtime record that I entered was for 15 minutes, and it actually flowed into the next hour period. And now to enter some yield information, I can enter some good counts here for the first hour, and maybe also some defect information. The process I'm going through here can be done in sequence with production, or it can be done after production. So if you were collecting handwritten notes from the production run, they could be entered by a data entry operator after the shift ended, or if there is an opportunity, the operators can actually enter this data while the shift is running. So now that I've entered some data, we have an opportunity to see how the data appears. Our first production run was just for the first 2 hours, so we see that we've added some OEE time, some availability, and some performance. The OEE time is a reflection of the good products that we've entered. We can see a Pareto for the shift. A lot of the time is down to speed loss. This is because we have not entered any good products for the second period, the second production run. Here we see station yield, very much like we would see in the automatic dashboard. And the overall table works exactly the same as the automatic dashboard. I can continue to add data in the same way to fill the complete profile. By adding this good count information, I'll be reducing the performance loss that we saw on the OEE time and OEE analysis pages. Adding defect quantities here is going to introduce an element of quality loss on our OEE analysis. I'm going to make the final 2 hours of the shift a planned downtime. Planned downtime will appear as a blue segment on our stack bar chart, our OEE time interface. So we can see this is planned downtime. So now we see the performance has turned into OEE time as we have entered good product. And our pie chart is now much more green than it had been formerly. Clicking on a particular record on the pie chart lets us know when that occurred during the shift. So finally, we're going to look at the report wizard. Reports operate exactly as they do for the automatic situation, and you can actually have a mix and match of manual and automatic machines on the same report. So creating a simple production by object report, I can select either a manual machine or a combination of automatic and manual machines. I've selected the packer, and I am going to show on the report the lot and the part information, as I have been collecting that in addition to the mode and count information. I choose which functions I want to display in my report and develop the report in the normal way, exactly as you would do for the automatic situation. And then running the report, I see a production report for the shift showing the two production runs of Packer Lot 1 and Packer Lot 2. Which is pretty much what we see on the dashboard. So thank you for watching the Provideam manual data entry training video. If you'd like to discuss your project requirements in any more detail, please don't hesitate to contact me, Paul Mitchell, at provideam.com.